Hi, my name is Aqua Felicity Asiibii, popularly known as Asiibii on stage. I am a creative writer, social justice activist, researcher, and climate actor. I am also an entrepreneur. I have two businesses, JOS Publishing and Reknuma Foods Processing. So what inspired that combination is the fact that they all belong to the same industry. Creative writing, social activism, researching, all has to do with writing. So the inspiration behind it is, they belong to the same industry. So why not multitask if I can? Yes, so I had applied for a grant to do a social justice advocacy album with at the African Culture Fund. And the backstory is that I've always wanted to take my activism global, and that platform afforded me the opportunity to do so. So when I applied for the grant and I got it, I was the happiest person in the world, and that was that. Okay, it's the way I navigate it is just to plan my day. I don't do everything all the time, so I plan my day, or I plan my days rather. There are days that I'm focusing on my social activism, so I write my poems or I write articles about social activism. There are days that I'm focused on my research, so I go out to get data or to engage other people online to secure data. Then climate activism, there are days that I either partner with organizations or with groups or with individuals to go out for advocacy. So along the line, I am able to do much than just one thing. Okay, so the first thing that motivated me to begin or to register or to start Reknuma Foods Processing is SAPA. I was broke and I needed a source of income, but I was actually going through my ND then, and I was studying entrepreneurship as a course. So one of the assignments or the activities within that course is to actually start a business. So coupled with my SAPA and my assignment, I found a way to blend the two. So that's how I started Reknuma Foods Processing. But for Hibiscus Cutlery Limited, which Hibiscus Publishing is under, I was inspired to start that because I needed my writing to go global. And I was inspired by a friend who continually checked up on me to begin something as regards my writing. So that is how I started Hibiscus Publishing and I registered Hibiscus Cutlery Limited. Okay, so basically I am an education activist. What that means is that I inspire. My works may not be able to directly affect or to influence women's inclusion in several areas of life, but it is able to raise the awareness of women that they can be more than they are. And my works are very effective in engaging young people also to know that there are social issues that are abound in communities and they should be able to be part of the conversation and be part of the change process. It is not just about being in a community, but about providing solutions to the problems that are abound in that community or wherever it is that we find ourselves. So my work may not really engage people directly, but it can stir and inspire them to, be the change. Yes, in fact, my work, specifically Earthward, has been a very major tool for education. I know that it has been played in several conferences, in several workshops for people to listen and discuss the things that I've said in that EP. It was an EP. So the impact that Earthward has had over time is educating the general public about the climate issues that we have, and people are beginning to take action as a result of that. Okay, so as a social justice activist, one of the challenges that abound within that space is gender stereotyping. Because I am a woman, it is very difficult for me to get into some spaces, because advocacy has a lot to do with, influencing policies and all of that. But before you are able to engage those people who would even get the policy enacted or put into rule, it is a very difficult task. And because I am a woman, I have very little or even no access sometimes to these people. So that is one of the challenges that I've been able to encounter. However, as I said earlier, I have decided that my activism would focus more on educating people than direct engagement. So I've been able to overcome my inaccess to these people by going virtual. Online, I do my advocacy online. The days that I have opportunity to engage a person one-on-one, I engage them. But on a larger scale, I may not be able to get through or across to policymakers. So I try to keep it as simple as possible. Time management, simple. I have learned, in fact, I had to take a course on how to manage my time, on time management or on project management. I have taken courses on time management and on project management to help me manage my own time and the several projects that I'm handling. So basically, time management. Okay, so an advice that I would give would be that you have to unlearn, learn, and relearn at every stage of your life. Activism entails a lot of research, and that is why I have said that the various things that I find myself doing are intertwined. Activism has to do with a lot of research. You have to be sure of your data, you have to be sure of your facts before you go out there. So you have to do a lot of unlearning, a lot of learning, and a lot of relearning. And also make sure that you're exposed to people who are already ahead of you to gain insight into what they have already done. You will save yourself the trouble of making a mistake that another person has made if you gain mentorship from people who are ahead of you. Don't underemphasize connections, networking, and partnerships. I think there's a saying that says if you want to go far, go with people. There's the other part of the quote I have forgotten. But if you want to go far, go with people. So if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with people. So I advise that whether you're into activism or business or research, please don't underemphasize connections and partnerships. Yes, in fact, I would really love to list like a lot, but what made a significant difference in my journey as an artist and an entrepreneur was the grant that I received from African Culture Fund. It changed my life. As a result of that grant, I got another grant, and by God's grace, I would be getting another grant. And I got quite a number of awards as a result of the work or projects that I did with the African Culture Fund. And I'm sincerely grateful for that. It is going to leave an indelible mark. It has left an indelible mark in my heart that can never be forgotten. I am planning on doing a soul gender justice advocacy EP or album later this year or next year. Early next year, and I'm hoping that funding would come for that. But even if it doesn't, I'm still going to work on that. And I'm also working on partnering with one or two organizations to produce projects advocacy projects that will reach out to young women and girls in schools and in rural communities. So those are my plans. Stay tuned.